you're doing well and that you're having a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever. So I actually went on a day trip to Brussels on Tuesday, I think it was. Today's Thursday, yeah, Tuesday. And this is something I've done before for Paris. So my partner and I, earlier this year, we got the 6 a.m. train to Paris from London, St Pancras, and we got the 9 p.m. train back, and we had such a good time. It was great. So we thought, let's do it again, but instead of Paris, let's try Brussels. Now the train is only 2.5 hours, so again, I think we got the 7 a.m. train this time for a bit of a lie-in. So we were at St Pancras for 6 a.m. We slept on the train there, and we were in Brussels by around 10, half 10. And then we spent the day there, got the 9 p.m. train back, and we were in bed by, 12. And I've never been to Belgium before. I didn't really know a lot about it. I don't know much of the history or anything, unfortunately. But I just really wanted to try it, especially around Christmas time. I imagine it's the type of place that gets quite festive, and I haven't been feeling super Christmassy this year, so I think this was the fix that I needed. So I'll talk a bit more about what we did in Brussels throughout the video, but the first thing we did after ordering a coffee from the train station is we headed straight over to the flea market. Now, one thing about me is no matter where I go on this planet, I will always sniff out a flea market somewhere. I just love it. I spend all my free time looking for tat, basically. And this was a really good flea market. It's on every day, apparently, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case with it being December. But thankfully it wasn't raining, so there were quite a lot of stalls out. Now, my boyfriend is always on the search for plates, and I, on the other hand, am always on the search for little kind of bits of homeware, but more recently I've started a collection of little miniature characters, creatures, because I bought this printer's letter tray, and I'll probably film a longer video once I have a few more in my collection. So I was on the hunt for these little minifigures, and my boyfriend was on the hunt for kitchenware. So I'll probably start with what we got from the flea market. We must have spent, I don't know, like a couple of hours there, maybe like an hour and a half. It wasn't massive, but there was a lot of stuff to kind of look through. And because we knew we had the whole day, there was no kind of rush to get out of there, so we just moved around and took our time. One of the first things I think that caught my eye was this bauble. I'm going to try and... So I'm really hoping this will focus somehow. But you can just about see we have this lady here, and we have these kind of chalet looking houses and a tree. We have some mountains, I want to say, or waves, or I get the vibes that they're like icy mountains, but it could also just be like a kind of general marbling pattern. 2 little robins in a tree, another tree here with a fence, some more little cottages. Oh, and she's actually carrying, I'm not sure what she's carrying, a stick with 2 buckets on it. I'd guess that it's maybe like milk, but that's based on absolutely nothing whatsoever. But she's just going about her day transporting her goods. And this is a Soviet Christmas decoration, and it says St. Petersburg W. Rosina, which I'm guessing, again, I'm so sorry that it just won't focus, but seems to me that it's hand painted, but I could be wrong. And it has this nice little green ribbon, and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, so I had to buy it because, like I said in my Christmas decoration video, I am on the lookout for second-hand Christmas decorations, and I really do like these kind of wooden paper mache type ornaments. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Before I get on to my little creatures, I'll show you the crockery that my boyfriend bought. Crockery, is that the word? yeah, that's plates and bowls and things. So this bowl is first. It's still a little bit grimy, maybe we need to give it a clean. But I thought this was really lovely. I think, no, this doesn't have a chip. A couple of the plates have chips in them, but not this one. And this one is made in Belgium. It has a little stamp on the bottom to confirm that. And it just has quite a nice thickness to it. It feels kind of sturdy. And I just think it's really lovely. It's a good crisp bowl. And I feel like we have lots and lots of plates, but we don't have an awful number of bowls. So yeah, I really think this is very nice and that he did a good job. Here we have 2 plates. One of them I think is chipped. But they're really lovely little side plates. I don't think you could fit a full meal on there, but you could definitely fit a sandwich. And these don't say where they're made. Only one of them has a stamp. But they came in a set of 3 actually. And our fault, we didn't really check them before we bought them as thoroughly as we should have done. But when we got home, one of them had a big kind of crack right down the middle. It wasn't very visible, but when you kind of wiggled the plate, it was like kind of coming apart, so we just got rid of that one. But I think these are really, really lovely. We have lots of plates in this style. I think one day I'll probably do like a crockery show and tell, because we have so many plates. And this is the exact style that my partner really likes. But yeah, I'm still very happy with this. I think he paid €10 for 3 of them. We didn't actually haggle at the markets. I know at basically every flea market they expect you to haggle. But first of all, I was speaking in French, so my confidence wasn't great anyway. But also, I've just never been comfortable haggling with people. I think if they give me a price that I'm happy to pay, then I'd rather pay it than have the kind of awkward backwards and forwards. Because I do feel that you're just asking someone to earn less money, you know? This is their livelihood, so yeah, if it's too expensive, I won't pay it. And if I can afford it, then I will. We have one more item from the flea market, and this is a full-size plate. This is also made in Belgium, and it's actually the same stamp as the little bowl I showed earlier. There's a little chip in this plate, but we're not really fussy about things like that. I think if it was on the kind of food part, it'd be different, but it's just on the rim, so I think that adds a bit of character. And this just has this kind of lacy green pattern. And I personally think it's a bit kind of generic. But I can see why my boyfriend liked it. And he's bought plates similar to this for anywhere up to like £25 in the UK. I think quite a lot of kind of British antique vintage dealers will go to flea markets like this in France and Belgium, and they'll buy plates for a cheap price, and then they'll hike up the prices massively when they bring them back to the UK. But we don't plan on selling this, we're just going to keep it until we get bored of it, and then we'll donate it. But there were so many plates at this flea market. I think if we lived in Brussels, we'd have bought so much more. But obviously we had to carry everything around for the day, so we decided against that. In my hand here, I have another little selection of things from the flea market. Now these are all the little characters I was going on about that I'm going to be putting on my letter tray shelf. So I think we'll save the best to last, in my opinion. So I have 6 little characters here, but 4 of them actually are a set. So these are actually my little, let's see if I can stick them between my fingers like this. Okay. I'm so sorry that this isn't going to focus. But we have these 4 little ceramic figures. So we have this guy who seems to be like, I don't know if he's like a choir master because he has this kind of collar, or if he's some kind of ecclesiastical figure. Ecclesiastical figure. I think he might be an ecclesiastical figure of some description. And he's holding what appears to be a box, but maybe that's meant to be a Bible or something, I'm not too sure. Next up, we have this little drummer man, who again, he's just not ever going to focus. He's just not going to focus. He just really doesn't want to focus at all. But he has a little drum and a little white bonnet. We have this little lady, and she's holding something white, but I have absolutely no idea what it is. So if it's like the bottom of it there and the top of it is hair, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a sweeping brush maybe, something like that, but it's white, so I'm not too sure. Or it could be like, I don't know, it seems to be some kind of fabric belonging that she has. But still, I thought she was sweet, and there were only 4 of them there, so I had to buy all of them so none of them felt left out. And finally we have this person, who again, I promise that one day I will get my my camera to focus. I'll figure it out. But from what I can see, this person is carrying a giant lemon. I mean, that's probably not what it is, but that's exactly what it looks like to me. It looks like they're carrying a big old lemon on their shoulder. Yeah, good for them, I guess. But I just thought they were all quite odd. But my plan is to put them all together in a little, one of the longer boxes on my tray, to form like a little scene, almost like a little village scene, just without all the backdrops and things. And then we have 2 more figures. So this is a little emu, and he's really quite hard to stand up. He hates being stood up because you have to balance his beak and this foot, so his back foot can't carry any weight. But he has these lovely long eyelashes, and I think this is just made in Hong Kong. It doesn't say, actually, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I don't know where this was made. There is a word on there that I can't see. But he is perfect. In terms of his stature, he is the most similar to the little snow baby I bought. I think I've shown that in a couple of videos now. But he's very difficult to stand up. I'm wondering if it would be worth blue tacking some of them into the boxes just so they don't fall out. But I just really liked him. And then I saw this, and when I bought him, he was practically brown. You couldn't really see what he was. But I just caught a little glance of his eyes, and I thought he was so, so sweet, and I absolutely loved him. And this is a little plastic bee. Now he's quite a bit bigger than my other little characters. And he only just fits into one of the boxes. So I might move him around and see which one's kind of roomy enough for him. He does fit, but just not perfectly. He must be a little bit claustrophobic. And again, it's not going to focus. This says it was made in Hong Kong. He has yellow paint which is kind of faded away. I gave him a little scrub with a toothbrush and some fairy liquid, but I was very careful not to remove any of the paint. It was hard to tell which parts were paint and which parts were dirt, to be honest. But I think I did a good job because his eyes were practically completely black. think he is maybe the star of the show, and I really do love it. Now, after we went to the flea market, we bought some fries. Obviously, we had to try some Belgian fries, and they were good. I wouldn't say they were like the best things I've ever eaten, but they were definitely good chips. We had them with some kind of Andalusian sauce, which was basically just a spicy mayo, but it was good. And then we mooched around some of the shops and the kind of markets, like the Christmas markets. And we came across one shop which sold all kinds of weird, wacky, wonderful things, and they were selling the little, the trolls you used to be able to get. Everyone knows trolls, right? But not like the modern day trolls from the film, like the old trolls. They're like beige coloured and they had crazy coloured hair. They were selling those, and there was one which had like dark blue hair, and I thought, perfect, I'm going to buy him for my collection. So I bought him, and then we headed out, did some more shopping. We went to this museum, which was like the Museum of the Crossbowmen of Brussels, and it was basically this older gentleman walking us around and telling us all about crossbows. And it was really very odd, but it was so good, so interesting. And if you go to Brussels, I don't even think, we couldn't find it on Google Maps. It's not like a very well-known place by the looks of it. But of all the museums there were, we thought that would be like the most well-suited to us. And we had such a good tour by this lovely man he is a crossbowman. He is part of the crossbow club. And this museum, it's like half museum, half clubhouse, because the people there still use crossbows and they still practice and have competitions and things. It was really crazy actually, but I really enjoyed it. Anyway, and after leaving the crossbowman museum, I went into my pocket to find my troll, and he wasn't there. So he could be anywhere in Brussels, and maybe you found him, right? So if you have, then please look after him. This is a public service announcement. If you find a blue-head troll in Brussels, make sure to give it a home and treat it with love and respect. But I was very, very upset about that, but I decided I wasn't going to buy another because I'd feel like I was replacing it. We went for a few coffees throughout the day, and then we went to do more shopping. Now, I asked my friend if he wanted anything from Brussels, and he said, yeah, get me some chocolate, obviously, because that's what Belgium's all about, right? It's like is it the chocolate capital of the world? I think it's the comic capital of the world because Tintin's from Brussels. I don't know about chocolate, but I know it's Belgian chocolate's like the best of the best. I found this bar of chocolate with a little Belgian house, which I thought was sweet. This is just milk chocolate with obviously a white chocolate house. And then I spotted these almonds. Sorry about the glare, you're on my laptop. I spotted these almonds, some are with white chocolate, milk chocolate, some kind of like golden looking white chocolate, and dark chocolate. And my parents both really love chocolate covered almonds, so I thought I'd just buy this bag for them to share. In the shop there were a few little kind of tasters, so I had my fair share as well. One thing I do have to buy every time I go to a different location, different country, is a fridge magnet. So we went for this Belgian beer magnet, which is actually a bottle opener as well. And that's really useful because none of our current fridge magnets are bottle openers. And I feel that's kind of a rite of passage for magnet collectors. And we did have Belgian beer while we were there. I brought some beers home as well for my boyfriend's family. They're all beer drinkers. I tried Belgian beer. I didn't like it at all. Like, I'm not a big drinker, to be honest. But yeah, it was like almost like acidic. Yeah, not for me. And there was a real big fuss about something called delirium, which has like a pink elephant logo. I'd never heard of it before. I don't really care for beers. So I guess if you're a big beer drinker, then I would definitely recommend Belgium, or Brussels specifically. And in terms of kind of exciting things, that's basically it. But I have a couple of notable mentions. The first is this string, which we just bought from a cookware shop, because we don't have any like baking string or cooking string. I don't know what the correct term for it is. But we liked this and we thought it was quite festive as well if we were going to tie some beef for Christmas dinner. But I thought also I could use it to wrap presents or to add labels onto things. Or I have a few ornaments which need restringing, so this could work well for that. This is a bit of a ridiculous thing to show, but I bought these. It's literally an empty bag. I bought these Kika's Haribo, and these are the frogs. They're like this big, and the frogs are the best Haribos, but for whatever reason I haven't been able to find them in the UK for years. I don't know if they used to be in Happy Mix, but I feel like I definitely remember having them as a kid, like the frogs and the blue dolphins or whales or whatever they were. So I saw a bag of just the frogs and I thought I have to have that, and they survived for about 24 hours. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. I hope it wasn't super boring, or I hope it was and that you fell asleep. But I wish you a wonderful evening and week ahead. What day is it? I keep thinking it's a Monday, it's a Thursday. Okay, well I wish you a wonderful end to the week.